Welcome back to Sandown International Raceway, completion of Heat 2 of Round 1 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. Craig Lowndes, congratulations on a great win. Boy, there was some carnage out there.
Thanks, Mark. We had a tremendous first start. We got away to a real blinder, and obviously, by the time I got to NGK, which is a couple of corners away, it was a red flag. The second start, obviously, just as good, and I got away to a handy little gap where I was able to hold it.
Best of luck. We hope you do well in Heat 3.
Thank you very much.
Well, Craig Lowndes certainly did get a good start, and the points are very interesting after those first two races. Let's have a look at them now on the Shell Helix point score. John Bowe and Lowndes tied right at the top there, and we go back to Glenn Seaton, Larry Perkins, Scaife and Richards. They're your top six. A really good day for Stephen Richards so far. We go back, Ingle, Mark Poole, have a look at that. Mark Larkham, then back to Dick Johnson, Bargwanna and Longhurst sitting back there in 12th position. Time to check the grid for the next race as they line up and get themselves sorted out. Well, over the weekend, the track and the action has taken its toll. We started with 33 cars on Friday. We're now down to 23 cars, so quite a few. We've lost 10. And this is the grid, the Shell Helix grid for the third and final race. And of course, these are the results of race 2. Lowndes up the front there. Then we go back, Perkins, Scaife, Larkham and Poole. All the way back, Dick Johnson will start from 9, Ashby, Steve Richards and Darren Hossack. A great job by young Darren because he started from last position in that second race to come up and finish 12th. So well done to the wins driver, young Darren Hossack. Green flag at the back. We know it's only seconds away. Will Lowndes get another blinder or can Bowe get the jump on him? It's an even point score after 2. Red lights are on. We get ready, green. Here we go. Who got off the line the best? Seaton got away to a reasonably good start. He split the pack. Seaton and Lowndes it is, heading into Shell Mastercard corner. Lowndes has got the inside run and will hang on to it. Contact there. Seaton drifts wide.
Ingle up the inside. Oh, he's got enough room.
It is.
Oh, look, Mark Scaife, I think it is, up on the grass there. He's really getting into the elbow action back in the pack. That's lost him a heap of positions. So his teammate Craig Lowndes leads him back through Repco corner up Holden Hill for the first time.
Somebody got mixed up in a whole heap of stuff. I saw that was Stephen Ellery, some smoke coming from his car. Perhaps we go on board with Mark Scaife passing Terry Finnegan in the Sony Auto Sound Commodore. This is up the back part of the circuit, reaching speeds of upwards of 260 kilometres per hour. The opening lap of 16, the third and final race for today.
Well, Mark Scaife's got a big job in front of him. He damaged his steering rack, in fact, in that second heat. That was slow. Oh, here's Jason Bright. A big hello and welcome to the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship for Brighty. He set the lap record in the first race and has had nothing but trouble in the next 2. Yeah, just an example of the damage, the biff and barge in this opening round of the 98 Championship. Boy, it's a hot day here. It's over 30 degrees and the action is just as hot on the track. Craig Lowndes managing to stay out of all that damage as the field sorts itself out down the straight for the first time, and a big cheer for the local boy, Craig Lowndes, who comes home and is leading the field.
Lowndes won here in 96. 2 race wins, Bowe won the other one, so could he do it again? It's heading that way. He's certainly in good form. Hossack well placed there as they all drift through. Trevor Ashby as well. Here's John Bowe all over the back of Glenn Seaton. Russell Ingle doing well. This is the view from the back of the Ford Credit Falcon. John Bowe trying hard. These two had a good battle early in the second race. Bowe got through and then just walked away with it. Early days yet though, 16 laps.
This is exactly the situation, Lee, that Craig Lowndes will be looking for. He opened up 1.5 seconds on their first lap while the field was sorting themselves out. That's a very valuable buffer when the competition's this close.
Well, he might have been in Europe for 12 months and didn't have a very satisfactory time, but he hasn't lost his starting ability. Fantastic, both races. Second race and this one, he's got off the line beautifully.
John Bowe, get a look down the inside, a real look down the inside. Not quite enough room there. Glenn Seaton makes sure there's not enough room. Shuts the door. John Bowe has already been in the wars through that part of the circuit in the opening heat. Doesn't want another contact in heat 3.
Yeah, the funny thing is in that heat when he came together with Mark Scaife, they dragged him up, you know, to say that, oh, Scaife was far enough past and everything. But even Mark Scaife said, listen, there was no way that was Bowe's fault.
Look who's looming in the background. Larry Perkins is right up there behind Bowe, not too far behind at all. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. Then we pick up Dick Johnson behind that. Then it looks like Mark Larkham. We've got word through from the officials that Trevor Ashby has received a stop-go penalty. It may have been that first lap incident or a jumping the start. We'll find out later on. Jumping at the start, the word is through now. Jumping the start, so stop-go for Trevor Ashby.
The only guys in the 14s at the moment are Lowndes and Ingle, but Lowndes, he still pulled out 0.3 of a second on Ingle that last lap.
Hear the roar of these 600 horsepower V8 monsters as they crest the rise over Holden Hill at 260k, barrelling down through these S's, braking very hard for XR corner. Fantastic action amongst the V8s all through the day at Sandown. Lowndes now building it out, 1.8 seconds, almost 2 seconds the lead over Ingle. Seaton, Bow, Perkins, Johnson, Larkham's up there too. Scaife back in 8th, Poole and Richards in the 10. You're riding with Dick Johnson, Shell Helix Race Cam. Aboard Shell 17 forward as he tries to close the gap to Larry Perkins.
Well, it's nice and close for those minor placings, isn't it? 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. It's all nice and close. We watched Dick hard at work. He's had a little bit of bad luck today. None of his own fault either. He's just been involved in a few little hiccups. Won't be totally happy with today, but if he can get a good result in this one, might change things.
Well, looks like the gap at the front stabilised that time across. Ingle just held that lead at 1.8 seconds to the gap to our race leader Craig Lowndes. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Ingle can fight back.
In actual fact, Ingle has pulled him back a 1/10 of a second, and it's going to tell a story in the next 2 laps. Keep you updated, and I would say that Ingle definitely hasn't thrown a towel in.
There's your Shell Helix race score, the top 10 positions. Mark Poole in the Gawler South Australia Commodore has done a terrific job to stay with these level 1 cars. He's had a couple of good races, the last one, and if he can continue in this one, that'll be good. Through XR Falcon corner, Seaton's leading this freight train. There's still Lowndes and Ingle up in the front. Scaife has now dropped back to 10th position. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and he's lapping at 1:17, so he's at least 2.5 seconds off the pace, so he's obviously got something to problem.
Very, very hot conditions here. John Bow saying after heat 2, it's not exactly right. The operating window for these Dunlops to work at their supreme performance is pretty narrow, certainly compared to the Bridgestones.
I think the big problem that Bow's worried about is his brakes are overheating pretty badly.
On board again, the Shell Helix in-car camera with Dick Johnson, 4 times a round winner here at Sandown International Raceway. Unfortunately, that's not going to pan out today. His teammate was in with a shot of taking out another round win, get his 2nd round win here at Sandown, John Bow, but JB's got a pretty big battle on his hands at the moment. Meanwhile, Craig Lowndes is just drifting away. Lowndes is heading towards his 2nd round win if things remain as is.
Yeah, be good for the Holden boys too. The score at the moment from Australian Touring Car Championship races at Sandown, 12 wins to Ford, 11 to Holden. So if Lowndes can get up and win today, that'll be 12 all.
Watching the battle here between Larry Perkins and Dick Johnson. This is probably Dick's best run, his clearest run. And when he's had some bad luck in the past, Mark, he's really clawed his way back very strong.
Well, he has. I think he's had a lot of bad luck today, as Mark said. And if you look at the aerial shot there, DJ's really hot on the brakes.
And he's certainly keeping up his fitness routine too. Maybe over 50 years of age, but it's not dimming his approach, physical approach. He swims something like 3 to 5 kilometres every morning in the pool. And he says that keeps him in tip-top shape to drive these 1.35 tonnes of V8 monster.
Very big Brisbane Broncos fan too.
Mark Larkham in the Mitre 10 forward. Managed to avoid all that carnage in Heat 2. It's almost like his luck is changing. There was a point there, certainly in his opening seasons in V8 Supercar, where if there was any altercation on the track, someone would manage to crash into him.
I told you it's his new St. Christopher. It's true.
Well, we'll follow it could be the St. Christopher, because we'll follow his form throughout 1998, and if things do dramatically change, as they have today, maybe we can see some good fortune finally shining on Mark Larkham.
We'll believe you after round 10, Baz.
He's the patron saint of travel.
7th in the 2nd race for Mark Larkham, the Mitre 10 Falcon. Here he is. The Queenslander doing a great job, working hard. His teammate, his young teammate, Jason Bright, hasn't had a very nice day, a very nice season debut in '98 to the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, but about time Larko's luck has changed and things are looking good. Top 10, Lowndes, Ingle, Seaton, Bow, Perkins, Johnson, Larkham, Stephen Richards has come up, that's quite good. Scaife is back up into 9th, he's having a good battle at the moment with Mark Poole.
So Lowndes and Ingle at the front, really locked in a battle here. Lowndes has done a 1:13.08, digging deep. Ingle just a few tenths slower. That's put the gap out to 2.4 seconds. This is the Lowndes of 1996, just grinding his opposition away. Really putting in some quick laps. Ingle going with him, but not quite so fast that last time around.
Well, people were saying if Craig wants to get back overseas, he's got to come back over here and really impress the sponsors to get some financial backing to get back over into Europe. So he's got to have a repeat of 96. He won here in 96 and he's heading towards another round win here today. So that would start season 1998 the right way and keep things nice and positive for HRT and Craig Lowndes.
Yeah, well, he's been really enjoying the build-up to this series too. There's been a lot of attention, a lot of media attention on Mark Scaife. and that's allowed him to just sit in the shadows and get himself dialed back into the car and waiting for the races to start. Now he's putting on a real show.
He's going very, very well. Engel nicely positioned in second. He's doing well as they come out of Simcoe corner. Lowndes is all out there by himself. There's the gap. He's doing extremely well. Onto the Brock straight. Word through from the officials that Dick Johnson has been shown the bad sportsmanship flag.
Oh boy, the race directors are going to be working overtime in 1998. It's very, very tough out there.
Welcome back to Sandown. You're watching the third and final race, the opening round of the 98 Shell Series. This is the Shell Helix Falcon 18 of John Bowe. He's doing it a little bit tougher this time round. He's sitting back in fourth, trying to chase the defending champ, Len Seaton. And we should take a moment to say congratulations to the Melbourne public in coming out in their droves. In excess of 20,000 people here at Sandown today. And it's been a very big sporting week and weekend in Melbourne. So a credit to them for coming out and supporting the big boys of motorsport in Australia.
Well, yeah, it's great, because a mate of mine reckons the only reason they got so many people at the V8s at Bathurst was because Brocky was retiring. I mean, I love Brocky, but he ain't here today, is he?
Shell Helix race score, there it is. Up in the top right of your screen, top left of your screen, I should say. As we grind down these laps, 10 laps completed of this 15-lap contest. Craig Lowndes still in charge, 2.7 seconds the lead over Russell Ingall. Seaton in third, Bowe in fourth. Perkins, Johnson. Mark Larkham still in seventh, Richards in eighth, Scaife and Longhurst in ninth and 10th.
Yeah, it looks like Craig Lowndes now has just put on sort of cruise control. He's keeping the gap out just over 2.5 seconds, and sensible thing to do. There's no sense in tearing the tyres to pieces and wearing the equipment out. It's Mark, and a very good day actually, Mark.
Hard at work. Mark Scaife doing it tough back in 9th position.
He's such a competitive guy. I remember talking to him yesterday after qualifying, and he said he was second fastest. He said, well, there you go, I'm the first of the losers. Winning only counts with this bloke, and he won't be happy sitting this far back in the pack. Now there's a shot of Mark Scaife's feet as he pedals this 600 horsepower V8 around Sandown Park, and you can see there's plenty of tap dancing going on down there. It's a very hot footbox in these cars. The exhaust runs right under the floor. Quite often drivers have burnt their feet with those 3-layer Nomex boots on. Incredibly hot inside these cars.
Dick Johnson's doing well, still there in 6th position, chasing hard after Larry Perkins. And while this guy's HRT teammate Craig Lowndes is going very well out in front, doing very well for Holden. I guess we shouldn't get too carried away. It's the opening round, but since the inception of the V8 formula in 1993, the championship's gone Ford, Holden, etc. So if you take it by that, Holden's in for a good year. They're getting away to a good start.
So you look at the statistics, 3 championships to Ford and 3 championships to Bridgestone over those 5 years. So you'd say that a Ford on Bridgestone is the dominant package, and Glenn Seaton certainly proved that over the years as well.
Heading up into XR Falcon corner, we're still on board with Mark Scaife. Hard at work coming up underneath the Dunlop Bridge.
The way he just taps that clutch, barely touches it, just enough to take the load off the transmission to pull another gear. Absolutely lightning fast changes on the brake, back on the throttle. All very smooth, very controlled down there.
We're good friends with Scaife here at Network 10. He's joined us quite a few times in the commentary box, and we know that he'll be disappointed with those results. But I guess, guys, we should look at it, that at least he's been finishing. And points are vital to get in the bag over these 10-round series. Well,
at the end of the day, you've got 30 races. I mean, 40 points to win a race. It's a lot of points if you don't finish.
Well, speaking of HRT and Holdens, etc., one of the main men last year was Greg Murphy. He joins us down in the pits. How's things, Murph, and how's things at HRT down there?
Yeah, pretty good, Lee. Obviously, they're pretty happy with the way Craig's going out the front. He's doing it nice and easy. He's just keeping a nice gap, making sure he's not burning up his tyres. And as you can see, I think he's doing it quite comfortably. Mark Scaife seems to be pulling a bit of a gap on the guys behind him, and he's also catching up with Stephen Richards at the moment. So obviously, as you said before, he won't be happy from where he is, but he's making some inroads now. He had a few moments earlier in the race, but he's definitely back on track at this stage.
Nice set of glasses, Murph.
Thanks, Barry.
3.43 is the gap between Lowndes and Ingall. And Craig building it all the time. Here's his teammate Mark Scaife sitting back in 9th position, so he's clawed his way back into the top 10 after all sorts of dramas. So Not the best start to the championship for Mark Skate, and you can bet this guy is going to be a big factor in Shell Series 98.
Just caught a quick glimpse there of Stephen Richards in the Valvoline Cummins. Gary Rogers, Commodore. He's sitting in 8th, just ahead of Mark Skate there. Stephen, he's had a very good day. Someone who didn't have some good luck in the last race was Tony Longhurst. He was caught up in that bit of a biffo session with Paul Romano. Wrong place at the wrong time when Paul just got a little bit out of shape, and Tony got hit by him and sent sideways. Everything's going okay, and Tony's in the top 10. Speaking with him yesterday, he was very positive, pleased with the Yokohamas, was running extremely consistent lap times, and he said early in the championship last year, Leo was a little bit disappointed and sort of a bit disillusioned, but he said, I'm very pumped up about this, and especially after the Primus 1000. And he said, we'll see how we go this year, but I'm feeling good. A couple of the guys running around, John Briggs and Ray Hislop.
It's currently the battle for 14th and 15th position, and just coming up behind Chris Smurden, who's running 13th. So it's actually the battle for 13th, 14th and 15th. Just an example of the depth as you start working through the level 2 and level 3 privateer teams. Just how many battles are going up and down this huge field. 2 laps remaining for these guys, for our race leader Craig Lowndes. So great battle on here. John Briggs earlier won the Privateers Cup, and he's showing some good performances in the race here too.
Chris Smurden is the top privateer at the moment, the man leading this 3-car battle here. Hislop and Briggs coming in behind. We've organised something, instigated something a little bit different this year for you folks. You can notice the drivers, when you see our graphics, will have a P next to them representing the privateer when you see the graphics come up on our screen. Here is Chris Smurden doing very well, leading the privateers charge at the moment. Trevor Ashby was top privateer in race 2. It's all Smurden at the moment. He's doing very well.
That'll all become far more relevant too, and all the privateers competing for the Privateers Cup go onto that Yokohama control tyre from round 3. Oh, look at this big attack up the inside. John Briggs, he went really deep under brakes, and Ray Hislop was able to say, well, thank you, try again next time.
John Briggs, 2JBs in the race. There's Trevor Ashby, Lansvale Smash Repairs Commodore. He received that stop-go penalty. We're in the closing stages of this one. One more lap left to run for Craig Lowndes, and he will pick up his second Shell Australian Touring Car Championship round win here at Sandown International. He did it in 96, as we were saying earlier, and he's well on the way to doing it. Yet again, Russell Ingall still charging hard, but he's a couple of seconds off the pace.
Yeah, 3.2. Just been watching that gap between Ingall and Lowndes. He's had him covered very comfortably.
It's going to be a nice win for Craig Lowndes, Mark. After the year he had last year, you know, you just get it out of your face and forget all about it. And it's perfect way. Psychologically, it sticks him at the top of the tree.
Here's Russell, just cruising up the back straight. He looks pretty relaxed, doesn't he? Now he starts to work a little bit hard when they've got to go through the change of direction there, heading up into Falcon XR6 corner.
You see the hole in his screen, or the dent in his screen. He didn't even see that. So I said, what do you do? Drive along with your eyes shut?
Our race leader, and this is going to be a very popular victory. He set the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship scene and the V8 scene alight in 1996 when he picked up the big 3. Sandown, the championship in Bathurst. He's got his round win here. Craig Lowndes, the crowd are going wild. The Victorian wins it, takes out round 1. The 1998 Shell Series. Congratulations to Lowndes. Ingall in for a good second spot and a very consistent day for Glenn Seaton as he cruises round in 3rd. They bring it on home. I guess after the first 2 races, you could say an incident-free one.
Well, the thing you've got to worry about is, I was talking to Bobuana's crew, and they reckon they'll get his car repaired by Tuesday and be on the boat to Tasmania.
Well, the thing is, the Gary Rogers team were having a very good day. Stephen Richards so competitive, but it's HRT's day. Lowndes in for the win. There's the defending Shell Series champ, Glenn Seaton. He had a very consistent day and should be happy. Here's the final placings for you on your Shell Helix race score. Lowndes, Ingall, Seaton and John Bowe picking up 4th position. We go back, Larry in for 5th, Dick Johnson 6th, Mark Larkham in for a good 7th, and Scapey clawed his way up there into 8th.
Welcome back to Sandown International Raceway after a great day's racing. Boy, we had the biggest V8 field in the history of the series, and you needed all those cars too, all that carnage happening today. Just enough time to run through our winners. Trevor Ashby, top place privateer. Well done, Trevor. Glenn Seaton in 3rd position today. Great fight back, Glenn. John Bowe, very consistent as always. And we've just got time to ask Ross Brodie, motorsport manager for Shell, to make the presentation to the hero, Craig Lowndes. He's back.
Boy, oh boy, you're pretty popular here on your home turf. Coming back from Europe, it must be a great feeling.
Thanks, Mark. It's been a tremendous, I suppose, comeback. It's a tribute to all the guys in the team. Obviously, the biggest thing that's come out of this weekend, it's going to be a hell of a year.
In that race, the conditions were very hot. How was the car performing? It looked like it was pretty consistent.
We've been working on the car all weekend. Obviously, the new Bridgestones have delivered some new tyres, and I guess they're like I suppose the Dunlops are a little bit unknown quantity. And as I said, the consistency of both Dunlop and Bridgestone are fantastic. So as I said, it's going to be one good year.
All sorts of damage out there. You sort of lost something like 10 cars in the course of the day. You managed to stay out of that.
Well, I suppose, thank God I'm up the front. It's you know, we had a couple of good starts, which I guess led into the first turn the first time, and you know, all the carnage happened behind me, which I guess is a bit of a shame for the other guys.
Craig Lowndes, the big winner at Sandown International today. Give him a hand, folks. The winner, 1998 Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. It's going to be a hell of a season.
Well, I guess people were saying it was going to be hard to follow up last season, but I think this season could definitely be better. Obviously, from that great win, Lowndes leads the table, the points table that is, after the first round. Bow in second, the defending champ Seaton in third. The Castrol Commodores well represented, Perkins and Ingle in there, and then we go back to Mark Scape in sixth. Richards, Johnson, Larkham, Longhurst, Poole, a good showing by Mark Poole today, and Stephen Ellery, they round out the top 12. Well, it has been a fantastic day here at Sandown International, and Barry Sheen, Craig Lowndes is definitely back.
It's so nice for him, because what you've got to bear in mind is he had a really bad year in Europe, and psychologically today's done him, you know, a power of good. You see the young guys today, they fared really well. They didn't get a lot of luck, but I think you're going to see a lot of the young guns right up there. And you bear in mind, have a thought for the mechanics that have got to get the cars ready to go to Tasmania next weekend.